Hey, we have clicked the button. Hey, everybody. I'm Yvonne with Back to Earth Creations, and in today's live stream, this is a live stream, not one of our typical regular tutorials. It's going to be a little bit of chit chatting and stuff, but we are going to be prototyping out one of our craft along projects for our upcoming, well, for July's actually, craft along project. We are going to be prototyping that today. So I am very excited to be getting that going. Let me check and make sure that everything is doing what it needs to do. And so I'm going to be using 18 gauge and 26 gauge pair wire today. And now in July's kits, we'll be sending out different colors of the 18 gauge and 26 gauge. So what I'm using here may or may not be what you get in your kit. It'll be like a selection, and we'll go a little bit deeper into that in our unboxing tour of the July craft along kits. Good morning, Steph. It's not morning. Well, it might be morning where you are. Good morning, Mel. Hey, Steffi Joe. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Josephina. How are all of y'all doing today? Welcome to our Saturday live stream. Now, normally on Saturdays, I like to do lampwork glass. It's too hot to do lampwork glass today, so we are wire wrapping instead. Need just a little more volume. Let's see if we can get, how's this? Thank you, David, for letting me know. Hey, Marty. Hey, Cricket. I was like, morning? Isn't this time's a construct? Isn't this live? It is. I have no good excuses, but that's all right. So today I'm wire wrapping one of the Ammonites that is in our July craft along kits. We have not started shipping them yet. We'll be shipping them this Monday. We'll start sending them out. And now this way we'll be able to hopefully get y'all's creative juices flowing for getting y'all hyped for the July craft along kits. Hey, first man, how are you doing, Eric? Says it's over 100 here, so I took advantage to do painting some metal in the sun. We'll bake it on. Nice. So I'm going to start by showing y'all. Hey, Julia. How is it going? Uh-oh. There we go. So this is a very high-tech drawing of what I'm going to be making today. Hey, La Esoterica. Michelle says, doing good, just chilling. We went to SeaWorld yesterday. It was fun, but the sun took it out of us. It was hot, hot. Oh, goodness. I bet. SeaWorld, though. Oh, my gosh. Hey, Bobby. How's it going? Oh, Cricket says, are those fairy wings at the top? I've got a couple of different kinds of dragonflies going on, and we're still trying to, I still have not, you guys, it's been sitting here for more than a month now on my desk, the dip resin. We will get to it. We will get to it. But this was June's craft along project, which I'm really excited about. But so the idea is that we have our Ammonite, and that will be sitting like right now. And then, so I'm going to remove that, but you can kind of visualize. I'm going to start by making the like coil frame, because the thing with the Ammonites is they are dummy thick. Dummy thick. How big are these with a ruler? Let's see. That's a good question. Let's just stick to chicken nuggets on this one. And at its broadest point, this is 35 millimeters. And it's 30 by 35, roughly. Now, some of the different Ammonites that'll be coming in our July kits will be, some of them are only about like that big, like if you remove like that portion of it. But again, that'll be something that we go into in the July craft along kit unboxing and official like tutorial. This is just the prototype. We're figuring it out. Steffi. No, the wing things. Oh, the wing things? They are 50 millimeters for the largest and about 20 millimeters for the small. Hey, kitty mama, how are you doing today? Hey, pretty cute. I finally have a little time to relax and enjoy your show. Right on. We're doing really well, Julia. Hey, Judy, I just finished wrapping an Ammonite yesterday. Nice. Hopefully, if you have any tips for me, let me know because this is the prototyping. So we're going to start by doing a coiled coil for the edge because I want to be able to accommodate the super thickness of this. And then we are going to go through, and I actually broke this down into layers. So that's our Ammonite layer. And then this is the coiled coil. You can kind of see here, the faded coil is the one in the back or spiral, and this is the one in the front. And it's just going to kind of sit on each other. And I'm using those spirals because I just love spirals and I want them to fill in this kind of gap here. And then the next layer is, you can see I'm going to do 3 and I'm going to wire wrap them in a pattern. And we're going to do little bends to get them to be boop, 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 boop. And that's going to be very challenging for me personally because I'm not very good at doing consistent whoop, 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 whoops like that, but we're going to try our best. Ooh, Michelle's working on chainmail bezels here. Nice. Ooh, Cricket says, do you have any beginner-friendly craft-along kits for wire wrapping? I'm a chainmail girly, so I need help. I do. Our $15 kits, like actually, I'd recommend our 25 because it has the wire in with them. But like one of the projects for last month's kit is this design, but the beginner-friendly version is just the little bead wrapped like this. So, and you can also like, have you followed along with our wire wrapping masterclass yet on YouTube? It's a 7-episode series, like each one's about an hour long, and we take you through what I consider like when I teach, I would teach these 7 lessons first because from there, whether you're watching one of our tutorials or what, you will have a solid enough foundation that you'll be able to wrap your head around it. And you'll have put in the practice. So, oh, Judy says I also included a citrine. That's nice. Today, hey, Katista, today we are working on wire wrapping an Ammonite. But then I'm going to bring those 3 wires around and I'm going to do a bail type because my goal is to, I don't know if y'all are interested in working on things like this, but I really want to get to where the fronts of my pieces and the backs of my pieces, there's no clear front or back. Like it's going to be a little bit more obvious on this one because of the Ammonite, the nature of it, but I'd really like to be able to make the backs of my pieces just as beautiful as the front. Um, and that's been a challenge for me ever since I started wire wrapping back in 2008. And so I am going to apply myself and try to share with y'all what I just brain farted really hard. I don't even remember what I was going to say. Hey, Al, I was reading Cricket's question. Do you have a box of the supplies for the masterclass? I would so buy that. You know, we really should put together a box of the supplies for the masterclass. That's a really good idea. Let me see what we can do, and I'll try to have it ready by, if it's not ready by this Monday's shop update, I'll try to have it ready by next Monday's because I would 100% take your money in exchange for teaching you wire wrapping and like the tools and materials and stuff. So, though, really for the tools, I think I would just link you to where to get them on Amazon because you don't need to be paying a middleman thing for this. Whereas, yes, I want the front and back to look presentable and possibly reversible. Um, and I want to help y'all with that if that's something that you want to be working on. Thank you, Kit. Thank you, Eric. Oh, Kit says, ooh, cool. I have some Ammonite that are rainbow on back. Oh, I couldn't figure out how to make it wearable front and back. This is the video for you. Or maybe, we'll see. But I want to do this weaving pattern up the bail. And then over here, you can kind of see what we've got going on with the back because I want to have the back come around. And that's how I'm going to try finishing the tips coming down in that pattern. And then the back is going to have this situation going on And I think I'm going to be tucking these wires in behind. So first things first, we're going to start with making the coil, and then we'll be making the little back section, and then we'll be making the front and the bail. So that's the thought process that went into that. And now we gonna get started. Oh, Yvette, it's good to see you. How are you feeling? This is much better today. Oh, very good. Judy asks, what other platform are you streaming? I'm streaming on Kick, and both of their comments should be showing up on the screen. And I do try to read any questions and stuff. That way, I don't want y'all to have to pay attention to chat if you're busy with something. And like, I feel like if I were to read the questions and stuff, then answer them, it kind of puts it into context. So I do hope that that's helpful to y'all. Okay, so for the coiled coil. Now I am going to try to do the whole piece in just 2 sizes of wire, because that's typically what we send out in our kits, is 2 different sizes of wire. And so I'm going to pull off 10 feet of wire. And this is 26 gauge. And I should probably just put this into a drill to be fast, but here we are. So much better, says Yvette. Still breathing problems and weakness, but the rest seems to have subsided. Right on. Bobby says, super valuable to have materials on hand. Great to make samples. Your master classes rock, even for refreshing correct bag habits. Right on, Bobby. Ooh, Lori says, hi, Yvonne. Hey, Lori. Hibernating today, 79 degrees and no breeze. Petting rocks and stones to stay cool. Nice. Ooh, Valerie says, highly recommend those master classes. They're very good. Thank you. I gave them my all. We had someone today comment on one of them. You have no idea what you're doing. And I was like, criticism is only useful when it's constructive. But yeah, I love having our master class, because I think it's a great starting point, because it's so overwhelming with wire wrapping. What style are you interested? What kind of jewelries are you interested in making? All of these factors can really affect, or pull your attention. And so I tried to boil it down to what techniques will be useful regardless of what style, or regardless of where you want to go with your wire wrapping. What would be the most useful foundation techniques? Oh, all right on. Judy says, this is your first live stream that I have caught. Welcome, welcome. But by far not your first video I have seen. I've only been wrapping for about 6 months. Right on. Well, welcome to the live stream. I'm glad you're able to make it. I'm just coiling away. And this is 26 gauge wire around an 18 gauge core. These are American wire gauges. And the wire that I'm using is from Parawire. We do sell some on our website, backtoearthcreations.com, if you'd like to get your hands on some wire. But you can also find a broader gauge and metal tone selection from parawire.com. Steffi says, about the most I've been able to work on lately is sorting my cabs and seeing what I can part with. Ooh, now that's good fun in and of itself, though. First Man says, I use a spin mandrel I built to do that. Wrapping it uses drill chunks. Nice. I feel like it's a really good way to warm up. Did you just finish one of those tops, Maddie? Just the shoulder. Well, but still, good job. Well, you're injured. Well, don't injure them. I've got Maddie in there working her summer away. And so just coming through. It was so hard to get started on the piece I did for Vaughn. Oh, was it Yvette? Little Trevor. You were the first wire wrapper I saw on the internet, and I've loved you ever since. Oh, well, Samuel, thank you. I think I mispronounced your name. I'm so sorry. Stamili? Well, thank you regardless. Boop. This is what Yvette made for me. It's so cute. I keep him next to me. Right, Steffi? Okay, so just getting this uh, coiling around. And I like to work on the end of my wire. That way I'm not having to like, if I pulled this in really far and I'm having to like focus on going around, but really this isn't so bad. But I do like to just work right off the end because it also, I'm only goobering up this much of the wire. All of the wire past here is still nice and smooth and doesn't have like that handprint bend in it from where my pinkies and everything are holding on. Hey Itzy, tonight we are wire wrapping an Ammonite, prototyping it for July's craft along kit. So if you guys are interested in, if any of y'all are interested in crafting along with us, you can find our craft along kits at our website, backtoearthcreations.com, and it'll have all sorts of different cabs and stuff and the wire necessary to make the projects. And we're going to be doing a separate unboxing video. Oh, that's good to know, Yvette, that it can get hung up. Oh, we haven't checked our mail. I'm sorry. It's not been a nightmare. It's just been very, 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 very busy in like 100 different ways, it seems. So that's just, it's wild. So we may be able to check it tonight though. We'll see. Oh, also, just to let y'all know, we are accepting pre-orders on our malachite um, geode tops. They're a malachite surprise. You pick the size. Everything else is a surprise. Woo! Joette says, "Hi everyone. I just got my June box. What was the name of the June project?" The June project was. Let me go ahead and pull that up for you, and I can send out the link. But it was the DIY wire wrapped firefly. Not firefly, dragonfly. A firefly would have been so cool though if we used like glow crystals or something for the butt. That'd be really cool. Judy, I live in southwestern Missouri. Hey, Dark Tea, how's it going? And then just so everybody wants to know, over in Kick, those are that's the link to June's project, which is this wire wrapped dragonfly. But we also show you how to make this little wire wrapped bead as well. So for those of y'all who just came in, I'm using 18 gauge as my core wire, and I'm coiling with 26 gauge, and I've pulled off 10 feet. I'm going to see how far that gets us, because this is the whole process that I go through to do my prototyping for, now this one was the prototype, but last month's tutorial was like almost 4 hours long, you guys. That's just how long it takes sometimes to prototype things out and kind of figure out the design. So I thought this month we would do the prototype in a live stream where we're hanging out together, and that way y'all can ask questions, and that will hopefully help me to be a better teacher in the tutorial. So whatever questions y'all have about this, I would love to hear them, because you may not be the only person to wonder that. Bruce colors, that's awesome. Smush, there we go. And I don't know if this is actually going to be enough. I'm about I have to drive east for about an hour before it starts to look Ozarky. Like we're in this weird transition between the Oklahoma Plains and the Ozarks. So it's not like flat, flat, but we're certainly not very hilly either. But we still get some of the rain and stuff, and it's not so bad. But no, we go camping in the Ozarks though, and we drive through them anytime we want to go east for anything. So it's really beautiful to get to drive through. This time of year, all the junipers are getting heavy. All the junipers and cedars are getting heavy with their berries. So everything has this like dusty blue tinge to it a little, like at least the evergreens do. Hey, Mary, how are you doing today? So I'm just going to grab our wire on the end and I slide my fingers down the length of it, and that's going to kind of help scooch it all along. Ah, that's good to hear. Going well here, Sasaki girl. Right? It is very pretty. Really? Vivian says my mom lived close to Columbia. That's about 3 hours from us, but it's just because there's not really like a direct way. We have to like go up and over or over and up. Oh no, La Esoterica says I've got the it's raining headache. I took something for it so it doesn't become a migraine. Right on. Well, good luck to you. Coil, coil, coil. We're getting really close. Some mush. Doing a few more coils. Because if this isn't long enough, then we'll just have to figure out something else to use it for. There we go. And I'm real close here to the end, so I'm just going to keep wrap, 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 wrap. Whoops. Burnt most, baby. There we go. Smushing that down, smushing that in. Okay, so now from here, I want to give myself a solid 3 inches of, there we go, wire. Let's see. Yep, 3 inches. And I am going to, about 1 inch in, I'm going to bend this around once and twice, and I just like to get it tucked away. There we go. So I've wrapped around this. This is part of a coiling gizmo. And now I'm going to start wrapping. There's 1 coil, 2 coils. I'd like to do 5, so let me scooch our coil wire down just a little more. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now from here, I like to get things nice and tidy before I start doing the coiled coil. And now I'm going to just butt that right up against it, getting our wire nice and tight. And now we're going to start coiling. 2, 3. It didn't really matter to count on this. I just want to keep those coils right next to each other if I can. Just because we can. Oh, we don't sell the gizmo, but let me see if I can find a link to it for you. Now, this is an affiliate link, so if any of y'all do choose to buy the coiling gizmo, there's no pressure or anything. It's just to get you started shopping, but it does help support our business at no additional cost to y'all. Coiling, Gizmo, gizmo. And this is the exact set that I have, is the artistic wire coiling gizmo. And there's another one on the market that has like a different style of like clamp. But it's like $4 more, and I didn't really feel like I needed the I didn't really feel like I needed the different style of clamp because I very rarely use it actually clamped anyways. But that'll get you started. Would it be more helpful to y'all to be zoomed in? As part of the benefit of watching these things live is you can actually kind of, through your input, you can help shape how the tutorial goes. So like David letting me know that I needed to turn my volume up, that's so helpful to me. So if you guys have any commentary or anything like that, or if I'm wandering out of frame or like anything, please do speak up. It helps us out tremendously. And so now I am just coiling this down by hand. Judy says, I just use my drill. Right on. I don't like loud noises. And the drill goes a little fast for me. And I'm still learning this technique. So I can get over the loud noises. I can put like earplugs and stuff in, but I don't like doing them during a stream because then it's loud for y'all as well. But I also think it's really important for me personally to grind out my skill set so that I can be better at what I need to do. Okay, so I do not think I have enough here to go around this bad boy. So let's see, I'm actually going to use some of this scrap wire. And I just want to get an idea of what kind of circumference I'm going to need. The one I have is easy to control the speed. Ooh, now that would be a game changer. Okay, so I'm just going to snip. So that's the length that we need. Oh, I'm pretty short. So this is going to be a little cumbersome, but let's do another 5 feet. Ooh, leveled up. Congratulations, Esoterica. Oh, it wasn't a level up. You just, I see. Well, congrats anyways at being level 4. Hey, Tim. Oh, he says, how's it going, beautiful? What are we making today? We are making a wire wrapped Ammonite pendant. We're prototyping for July's craft along kit. How have you been, man? Okay, so I've trimmed off like an additional 2 feet. That's probably way more than what I actually need. And I'm gonna do this number so that I can start coiling it. And what we're gonna do here is we are gonna splice in this wire. So coiling in the same direction that we had initially coiled in. Let me get this down here so that I'm looking through the camera. This is how I make sure that y'all, or try to make sure that y'all can see exactly what it is that I'm seeing. I'm not going to pull the bookcase down on me though. Okay. So we're just going to nestle that in like that in the same direction. And I've bunched this wire up that way I can get my hand past it. And as we come around, I'm just making sure that it nestles in between the previously laid coil. And we're coming in just like that, bringing it around. Bye, Judy. It's nice to meet you as well. You have a great rest of your day. We'll see ya. Oh, thank you, Tim. I'm so pleased with, we actually did 2 dragonflies in like the past month or so. Fortunately, they're both very durable. Hopefully we'll have a tutorial out for this design soon, complete with the dipped wings. And then this was last month's tutorial. And I have to say, I really love this one. Like, I've been having so much fun wire wrapping lately, you guys. Like, I don't know, I'm feeling it. Okay, so now we've gone through and that wire is completely spliced in. And so I'm going to start merging it in this way. Because I want to have, oh, well, thank you, Tim. I really enjoy getting to make all this art and get to share it with y'all. I'm just going to trim off that little bit because it's getting hard to fit my fingers in against the wire. And then I'm going to burnish this down with my bent nose pliers. Eric says, I thought you were slipping back to the 70s making tie-dye. I am. I'm doing all of the things. I've got leather working set up. We're doing tie-dyes. I did chainmail yesterday. We wove a whole scale top. So I am back to full on pasture rotation. So now we're just coiling and squishing, and I'm going to get this as we go. Let's see if we can't, the tripod back to where it was so that we're not quite so zoomed in. And we're just going to coil, coil, coil. Tim says, oh, she has art ADHD, but actually finishes the stuff unlike me. Well, you finish projects. I've seen you make some great stuff, Tim. Don't be so hard on yourself. But I do like, if I were an insect person who went and pollinated like flowers, some bugs will go and pollinate a flower till it's done. And then they'll go and pollinate the next flower and they'll stick to just one kind of flower. I am not that kind of pollinator. I'm like, ooh, this is a pretty flower. Oh, this is a pretty flower. Ooh, I'm gonna roll around this one. Oh, that's a pretty flower. And that's just been my life since 2008. And it's great. I love it. So whenever I try to stick to one thing for too long, I like to use and I don't know if it's an analogy or a metaphor. I'm sure someone will correct me. But the concept of pasture rotation, so I don't overgraze in one area. I don't want to force myself to stay in one area, for too long, because then it becomes a little stale. It's my inspiration isn't flowing as hard. So it's as long as it holds my interest, I will stay, and not a moment longer. Yeah, crop rotation too. Right on, Vivian. Tim says, you ever finished the birdhouse from way back? I know it's been a while since I popped in. I haven't. We finished the sculpting on it, but I need to paint it. And I am afraid to because I don't want to ruin it. Because I didn't ruin Snaggletooth, but he is very sticky. So I don't know. We'll see. I'll buck up and do it one of these days. But today is not that day. So yeah, it's my strategy is if I start 100 things and only finish 50% of them, I still finished 50 things. That's pretty decent. So now I'm just making some coils as I go. And we'll be able to gauge how much wire I'll need. And I'll hopefully be able to write that down. I call that squirrel mode instead of crop rotation. Right on. Well, with the crop rotation or with the pasture rotation, for if I'm a beast of burden being grazed upon a field, with the crop rotation concept, I really like that because the crop stays there until it bears fruit and then it moves on. And while I don't require of myself to bear fruit, sometimes with pasture rotation, like I like to graze my chickens in different parts of the yard. I used to keep like my chickens and rabbits in like different tractors. In that way, I could put them in an area, and if there's been a lot of rain and the grass is growing really well, I can graze them in one area for a little longer. Whereas sometimes they've grazed it in half a day and I need to scooch them, otherwise it's going to look like scorched earth. So that same concept I think applies to crafting for me personally, because sometimes I can spend weeks and weeks and weeks on a craft, and sometimes I just need to pop in and visit it for one afternoon. Ooh, First man says, Vaughn, you might do like I do when I went to work hot, is I go under my tree early and do the fire outside. Right on. Got a necklace I've been stringing for weeks on my dining room table, says Laos with Erica. Ah! Stamili says, I endorse that strategy. Right on. If it's what works, it works, and it'll work right up until it doesn't, and then we'll figure out something else. But oh, Mama Kay, how are you doing? Says, I absolutely love last month's tutorial for the dragonfly. I'll be making that. As I told, dragonflies are the symbol for me of my dad. Oh, I've done your butterfly, is why I asked for a dragonfly. Nice. Nah, we're only on a quarter of an acre. Now, I would, just because I'm allergic to textured vegetable protein and want to, be self-sufficient and self-responsible for the meat that I consume. But currently on a quarter acre, we aren't able to legally or physically raise happy birds for meat consumption on such a small plot of land. But I do have 8 hens, five of which are not laying yet. But my other three, they're basically pets that I just eat their eggs. But ooh, Mama Kay says now I need a hummingbird. Oh, I'm gonna have to tackle that. Ooh, First Man says, are those dragonflies 6 or 8 inches across tip of wing to tip of wing? Its wingspan is about 5.5, maybe a smidge over. She needs bats. When people visit me, I feel like it's Tim's museum. If I will get to that again soon, well, don't dwell on the negative. Just to have started a project is an amazing thing, truly. So many people don't even ever start their project. And so, I don't know, I guess the grass is always greener or something. Right on, Vivian. Whoop, and there's that. So we're going to keep chugging along. Now we're fixing to bring in our potato harvest. We have, it's just 2 raised, oh, I lost where'd it go? There it is. 2 of our raised beds are planted with nothing but potatoes. So, and they're starting to all flop over and look pretty rough. And I was weeding the bed and accidentally pulled up one of the potato plants, and there's like so many potatoes. So I'm like, I gotta get these out of the ground. Ooh, we only need like another 1/2 inch. I hope we have enough wire. Hooey. So it looks like 15 feet of wire may be enough. Shannon says, I would love to see a hummingbird tutorial. I've tried to create one myself, but have not been successful. Right on, first time live viewer. Well, hey, Shannon, welcome to the live stream. I've never made a hummingbird before. It seems intimidating, but I guess that means that we kind of have to. First man says, I was going to gauge size by your hands. Your hands are smaller by far than mine. If I made that dragonfly, it would be giant. Right on. Well, yeah, I guess I don't know, I have roughly Vaughn sized hands. Pretty typical for your average Vaughn. Now, I think Wire Art Tutorials has a really great wire wrapped hummingbird. Oh, I'm going to have to make like a dichroic glass cabochon. Stamili says, I started a freeform peyote stitch beaded bracelet. It was a first freeform attempt and I loved it but didn't finish. I will though. Right on. Ooh, Itzy says, I've made a large hummingbird filled with beads for a garden ornament. Nice. You always do such beautiful work, Itzy. Coil, coil, coil. Smush, smush, smush. Kind of just coiling as we go. And if we don't have enough wire, we can just splice more in. Now, I'm fairly certain we're going to have more of the core wire, and that's the one that I don't think we'd be able to splice more in if we ran out. Oh, I don't know. We'd figure it out. We'd figure something out. Right on, Itsy. There we go. And we're going to test against our sizer again. Ooh, we're getting close. In fact, I think that that's going to be it because I don't want it to be too long. And I want those 5 coils to be accounted for. So with that being said, I'm actually going to leave this wire on here just to see, because I'm going to have it exiting to where it will be sandwiched between those coils. So there's 1 and 2, counting from there, 3 and 4 and 5. And now we're going to snip just like that. And now we can take this little bit of wire and I want to back coil through, and I'm just nestling it down in between each of our coils, making sure that there's just 1 per little segment. Now, I've often seen folks use like half round wire for this to great effect. I just want to experiment to see if it even works at all. There we go. Now, I don't have enough, but we've tested the concept and I see what I need to do. And so now from here, I'm going to take that and I'm just going to kind of wiggle wrench it off. There we go. Making sure that there's no little pokey bits. And I'm going to set this on the table. And then using my nylon jaw pliers, I'm pressing down. And I just want to keep that nice and snug. And so now from here, we can come here and I'm going to snip this. And we're going to pull this off of our wire gauge. Now this is not the thinnest gauge mandrel like that came in the thingamajig set. But I liked this gauge because it's robust enough that it's not bending under the pressure of my hands. And now we're going to take this piece of 18 gauge wire. And I'm actually going to hold it in the jaws of my bent nose. Ooh, Stamili says, Vaughn, have you always had the desire to be a teacher? I wouldn't have known to identify it as that at a younger age, but I did teach flute. Like I tutored flute while I was in high school. And it was, I think, my preferred way of interacting with people, because sometimes I just don't know what to say or do with my hands or what to talk about. And I just feel awkward and weird kind of just standing there being like, yep, we're socializing. Um, Whereas if there's something to like, I like learning, and I learn more almost by teaching, because just observing the way that someone else learns gets my brain juices going, I guess. But I really do love teaching, and I have very fond memories of whenever I was a kid. I was being homeschooled, and this was when my mom had to go and work outside of the house because my dad had gotten very ill, and she had been the one homeschooling me. But whenever he got real sick and was in his wheelchair and stuff, he was the one who stayed home. And I remember him like laying in his chair, like I couldn't fathom just how much pain he must have been in, like after his surgeries and stuff. But he would be like, well, sing it to me. Like, I wouldn't actually sing, but I'd be working on my math, and y'all, I am dyslexic AF. Like, math is not my strong suit. Um, but he'd be like, well, sing it to me. And he'd close his eyes and I'd just say, whatever steps. I'd say my steps out loud and step by step, kind of like verbally showing my work, and he'd be able to catch and correct, because my father was a computer engineer back before that was like a career that people did. He was just a bit of a nerd, I think. Very, very Star Trek. Uh, like he really liked Star Trek and all that kind of stuff. But I think that helped me to enjoy learning and to kind of, I don't know. I don't know. Like I can see all that's I don't know what it means, but I do feel like that's a stepping stone that's led me to where one day I'll be going. But oh hey Silver, how are you doing? Finally caught one of these in time. Oh, how have you been? And hey Denise. Tani says, hi Ron. Hey Tani. This coming Thursday I'll be starting my summer vendor adventure. It's a community market, 9 weeks on Thursdays from 4 to 7, and I'm kind of excited, kind of anxious. That sounds awesome, Tani. But yeah, I think it's been my calling. It's my favorite thing. Whatever it is that I do, I do like to teach it. If there's a willing student, I am a willing teacher. So, but also very much a willing student myself. So can I fit two of these? I don't know. Let's see. Tim says that's how I started a lot of my dating relationships. Stand there and say, "Yep, we socializing." Yep. Ooh, Silver says, I'm about to sell some things at my parish bookstore. Oh, that'll be cool. Congratulations to you, Silver. Ooh, Denise says, I made the necklace with the beads, just need to finish the ends. Nice. Okay, I cannot fit two of the 18 gauge into this coil, but that'll be all right. And so we have about 5 feet, but I'm working off the spool, so I haven't cut it, is all that means. And then I'm going to come in from, no, it's just kind of backwards, isn't it? Well, that'll be all right. So I'm going to give myself some space. And I'm coiling in a little bit of the other direction. This is about 8 inches. Yep. And I'm just going to stack this coil right off the end from where our wire was terminated. And I'm not going to bother counting it because we already measured that it's 8 inches. So whenever we get to the other end, I won't need to keep track of coils. I'll just need to keep track of that it was 8 inches. Well, hey, Loki. Welcome in. How have you been? This is evening, humans. Good evening, miscreant. And just getting that tail bit of the wire coiled down. Ah! I did the last bulk of moving the stream space indoors today. Oh, well, that's good. Has the weather finally turned enough that you need to be inside? Okay. So now we have that coiled. We're going to hook this around. I'm holding everything kind of in place because this first bit of coiling is always the trickiest for me, because our big coil isn't going to want to stay put, but that's all right. So now I'm just wrapping around. And it's making a little bit of a candy cane stripe. If you can see how that 26 gauge wire is like nestling in between, and all of my, you know what? I'm just gonna snip it. We're working off the spool today. We'll see if 5 feet is enough. But yeah, I want to get all of this nice, and there we go. coiled around. Coil, coil, coil. This is my first time making one of these, y'all, especially in this manner. Gotcha, Loki. Been too hot to craft and stream where I was. Probably experienced where my life has felt all out of balance for the same coincidental duration. It can really help to get your craft space in order. Like, that's wise, Loki. It's when I'm a mess, my house is a mess, and when my house is a mess, I'm a mess. So where we spend our space, where we spend our time in our space matters. Oh, looks like we'll have needed just a few more feet, but let's see if we can get through this. Rushing does nothing but hurry us into more messes, so don't worry about rushing it. That's looking so cool, though. Okay, well, I didn't have enough wire, so I'm going to pull off this 5 feet, and we will use it for something else. Whoop. So there we are. So I'm going to pull that off the end, and we'll set this over here. That wire is still perfectly good to use. Now, also something that I think I'm going to do is, now that we have our 18 gauge wire on here, I'm going to grip and cinch this end because I want this to taper down just a little. And I'm just focusing on those last 3 coils, more or less. There we are. And so what that is accomplishing is, now this end looks like this, where everything's, hopefully you can see, a bit more snug up against the wire, as opposed to this end where it's still loosey-goosey. Yeah, Randy's still producing chainmail for me. Tim asks, I hope the sexy other half has been well. Is he still dabbling in his chainmail projects? If you call that dabbling, but yeah, he busts his hump getting chainmail made for us. And we've actually got our niece making scale mail as well. So it's just a regular old factory over here. But he's finally more or less over his cough. He was real sick for a little bit in the beginning of June, but he's doing all better. Well, that'll be good. Loki says, I did a good job storing in progress goods, so I'll be able to pick up where I left off and get merch placed better stocked. That'll be good. Ooh, hey, Katrina. Katrina says, working on rearranging my craft room today. Needed to fit my new to me sewing desk in. Now to organize all the random crap that has been thrown on every surface. Ah. Good times. Hey, Assassin, how's it going? Okay, so now we have 10 feet of wire. Oof. Let's see if we can do the same 8 inches. Coming through this way. There we go. And I'm just getting that coil started, and then nice and steady, and then I just lean into it. And we want to make sure that we're getting nice, even stitches. Oh, Assassin says, good. Just found out there's an arts and crafts like category. There is. Kick has a pretty cool music category, like for their live music as well, which I really enjoy. But we're going to get that brought down this way. Have you made a piece that is like a Celtic torque? Not in a long time, Loki. That would be very cool, especially now that I'm not quite so afraid of fire as I used to be. I may be able to do some of the soldering that can give torques really nice, those really nice ends. Because I imagine this wouldn't be too far off from one of those neck torques. Okay. So now as we bring this, whoop, it's going to be tricky, but we can do it. Oof, it was easier when it was all loosey-goosey, wasn't it? That's okay. So I'm going to use my thumbnail to hold this one kind of in place as we do our second coil. There we are. And by the third coil. So what are you up to today, Assassin? Are you a crafter yourself, or have you just discovered what's going on over here? Okay, and now we're on to the big fun coils. And again, if something isn't in frame or if y'all want me to zoom in or out, please do let me know. Loki says, I used up the last of my leather cordage and can't wear my Mjolnir. Oh no, probably the other reason I'm out of whack. Considering making a torque-like necklace with varying thicknesses of copper. That'd be cool. There's also a technique called Viking knit that I think makes a really cool kind of tubular style necklace. There we go. Bringing this down. But no, this weave in particular, I don't think I would recommend for anything that would be going across the back of your neck. Just because I know I'm a hairy Larry, but like I've got like baby hairs on the back of my neck, and this would just epilate them directly off of my body. Oh my gosh, Assassin says I renovate, fix, and regulate scuba diving and tank parts. That's really cool. Wow. Like, do you ever like work on like rebreathers or anything like that? I've not scuba dived, but it fascinates me. Like, I've not even snorkeled, but I've never seen the ocean. But there's a scuba shop that we drive by the next town over. They've got like a pool where they train you, and I've always been a little curious. Right? Repurposing and restoring is a saint-worthy endeavor because it's never as easy as just making it from scratch either. Like, all right, we're here at the end. And I've done one little coil to not lock everything into place. And now we're going to measure out that 8 inches. All right, on. Well, thank you so much, Tim, for stopping by. When do you plan on doing your next stream? I'll have to keep an eye out and come in and pester you. Oh, okay. Rebreathers are military technology. I think really rare to come by. Gotcha. I watch like uh documentaries, documentaries. Um, and like one of them, they were talking about using rebreathers, and I just thought that was the coolest technology I'd ever heard of for keeping the bubbles down. That way, you don't scare the fish. And so I don't know if this is getting us anywhere, but I'm just there. We go. We got to the end, and we'll smush it. Y'all, we got done with this part, and it looks super cool. That's pretty nice. I love it with the silver core because it really pops a bit of brightness into the copper. Loki says, recommend the post-apocalyptic inventor on YouTube. The fellow goes to scrapyards and shows how he makes functional things work again. Really? That would be very cool. I'll have to check that out. Stimuli says, I love Viking knit very fly. It is. It's a lot of fun, and I haven't done it in like ages. Time to revisit all of those things I love that I just haven't been making time for. Okay, so now we can still move our core wire pretty freely through all of this. And I'm going to set our Ammonite on its flat side. That way we're not fooling about with it. If I had it on the back and I'm trying to shape it, it's going to be sliding behind it. And I want it sitting on the edge of glory. Bah. We're real close though. Like we were really close. I always forget to account for lack of a better term, the girth of the wire once we've gotten it coiled, that if it were inset a little bit, it would have made it around. But because of that thickness of what the wire took up, we would have needed to have made it a little longer. And this is why we do prototyping. It is okay. And I'm going to position it so that it's like this, I think. Kind of just situated like that. I really like the silver and the antique copper together. It is very earthy. Okay. And so now I'm going to snip because we did draw this up on like my tablet. Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Assassin says, I agree in regards to the repurposing and restoring, but it's a whole different story when you end up working with human lives because every job I end up doing with scuba diving equipment, someone ends up using it. And if something goes wrong, well, imagine being underwater and a part fails. Yeah, I mean, not much opportunity for them to leave a poor review, but dang, like that'd be scary. Okay, I'm going to use my round nose pliers. Now I've snipped 5 to 7 millimeters beyond the coil. And I'm going to take this one and I'm just going to coil or spiral rather. And it's okay. I'm trying to hold my wire as close to the tip of the wire and as close to the tip of the pliers as I can. But sometimes we just got to give ourselves a little bit more space to do what needs done. And I'm bringing this around like so. And I'm going to use my nylon jaw pliers to grip and bring that in. Right. And so I just wanted the spiral to be able to sit kind of like, uh-oh, and our wire is kind of poking off the end there. So I'm going to squanch this on in, and I'm going to grip the tip of that and see if we can't do a little bit of scooch. Okay, so now I'm going to grip right there and get that, whoops, coiled in, spiraled in. Hey, Joette. Joette says, since I've been in the water, and so I would have to have everything checked. Computer, I don't even think my dry suit fits me anymore. Tanks would have to be tested. I'd be better off to go and rent gear. Gotcha. Okay, so there we have our other spiral kind of tightened in. Now I do hope that that will still reach. We may have to unspiral it a bit. Yeah, we're going to unspiral that. That's okay. This is why it's the prototype. And so, oh, I really like that being right there like that. And now I can actually use some of our scrap wire to join these two pieces together, because otherwise it's going to keep springing out like that. So you can encourage that wire around. I'm loving it. Okay. So here I have about over 12 inches, but we just needed a bit of scrap. Ah, well, thanks, Loki. Loki says, first time I've seen nylon pliers. I have a few special purpose pliers that might do well to get an HDPE custom cover, keep stuff from getting clamp bruised. Yeah, I really like these because it's specifically for whenever I have a bit of wire like this here, and if it gets kind of jank, you know, just maybe you tried wrapping something and you want to try again, I can take it and I just run it between the jaws of the pliers. And I kind of come at it from some different angles. Now this will heat up your work and slow, like kind of work harden it a little bit, so make it stiffer. But it's a fantastic, for that purpose alone, I love these nylon jaws. Yes, girl. Hey, Laura, how are you doing? Redoes it. Okay. So I'm going to bring this in here. I'm just going to come to the center of this bit of wire. And I'm going to put its little ends through here. And we're going to take that loop. I'm going to open that up a smidge. And we're going to bring, I just want these two to be sitting on top of each other. Good, taking a break. Oh, that's good to hear. Okay. So, oh, let's go ahead and do 3 wraps just for, it's a nice round number. So there's 1 and 2. And I'm being mindful of how I want the wires placed on top of each other. Now, this is something that may vary from piece to piece. This is just how this one is working out. That's part of what keeps it's part of what keeps crafting fun, really, is not every single piece is exactly the same, even whenever you try to make it be, you know, the same. Okay, so now I'm coming in and I just want to splice that in back into the wire, and I don't know that we can because I think I'm going against the grain on this. 100%. Okay, yeah, we're going to change the angle of insertion on this. That way I want to be able to splice that wire in. So just unwrapping. And so now instead of this wire coming around on this side, I'm going to cross it on the other side. Okay, I see what I'm doing. Maybe. Wish me luck. Because the goal here is seamless. Let's see. Let's see if that's doable. Because you can tell what direction I'm going from there. I think I'm just going to figure 8 it. Hey, Cat's Corner. How's it going? All right, Loki. For your setup. Oh my gosh. I'm just going to extract it completely. Again, this is a great instance to use my nylon jaw pliers. There we are. And I do believe... Oh, bye, Loki. We'll see you. Have fun updating OBS, and that's always a wonderful evening. Ooh, Stamili says, Avon, I'm sorry, but I have to ask again where to get the cogs you used in wrapping the painted dragon eyes. Unfortunately, those are no longer for sale. I had gotten them from Michael's. I think it was Bead Landing brand. But really, you can, whatever gear shape you can find, or maybe like a nice floral filigree or something like that, whatever fits behind your cabochon would work for that. So, but I'm sorry, I don't have any links or anything. Bye, Assassin. Thanks so much for stopping by. It was great chatting with you. Good luck with refurbishing the tanks. Okay. So I think I'm going to begin with splicing. It's so satisfying when it just clicks into place. Ah, level 5 Esoterica. Yeah, that's over on Kick. The more people chat, the more they level up, and whoever the first one to get to level 10 organically too. So like not spam botting, which we haven't had any problems with that, but first one to get to level 10, I don't know, get something. I don't know what yet. We still haven't really thought about it too much, but we'll see. So whenever I splice, I like to do at least 5 coils. Can you turn the larger coil 180? That would put your coiled wire next to the stone, I think. Perhaps. This is also a great exercise in communication because I don't always know how to ask for clarification. Okay, so I'm going to snip that, and then I'm going to smush this. So I wanted the large coil right there to fill the void. And I wanted this sitting flush with the front of the stone. And now our coils are sitting just on top of each other. And so I'm just going to sew this through as though the wire were both the needle and the thread. Oh, Stacy says, I'm just a lurker. I'll probably be level 1 for years. Oh, that's okay. We love our lurkers anyhow. Well, y'all are busy doing things. I'm kind of here just to keep y'all company and fill in the background and answer any questions y'all have. Oops, I want to make sure that I'm actually stitching around something. Okay. So then just threading through right there. So we've hooked around that back wire and stacking them like that. Was that like how you mean, Joette? And now I'm going to sew that through. Woo, level 9. Okay, and then just splicing that in. It'd be curled up instead of down. Ah, gotcha. I understand that. That is definitely a thing a person could do. And it would. So it would flip this around and the coil would be sitting closer to it. I was let me pull up the design that I'm trying to flesh out. So I wanted to go with a very clean exterior silhouette because we're filling in with an additional piece of wire that I don't even know if these coils are going to be visible at all. So, but this is just the prototype and we may see how it looks the other way as well. It's getting close. Dun dun dun. It is. Okay, so now that we've done a few more splices, I'm going to go ahead and snip that. And we're going to go ahead and smush that in. So now we just have our little bit of frame piece. And that will sit like so. And then I'm going to sit it on its front. Hey Tim, how's it going? He says, wow, what a nice surprise. What a cool, unique design. Love it. Woohoo! Denise says, always a lurker, but I have a question. My mind went blank. Is Ammonite a fossil? It is. These are some super cool fossils. I'd like to learn a whole lot more about them. But for now, I'm just going to wire wrap it. So our next step is to make a section for on the back. So let us see. I want to use the same bit of scrap wire. Yeah, and so we're going to cut 3 lengths. No, I'm going to cut 3 lengths to about 2 inches longer than this. Sorry, I don't mean to be like making weird noises in your ears. Ammonites were shelled cephalopods that died about 66 million years ago. Oh, that's amazing. I love the ones that have like drusies in the little, this one has a little bit of one. I love them. So on this one, I may come through. Do I have a marker? I don't know if that will mark on this. I think Sharpie markers work, but I do not have a Sharpie right now. Okay. Oh my gosh. Erica says we just hit 113 degrees Fahrenheit and it's not the hardest part of the day yet. That's terrible. This is like the worst. How are you doing today, Tim? I appreciate you stopping by. Michelle says it's only 93 here so far. Summer is here, isn't it? Okay. So I think, let us see. It's the one. So I'm going to try to roll this flat on my table. Meh. Good enough. Okay, and I think every 15 millimeters, I'm going to do a little bend. And this one's the back, so it's our practice one. Okay, I shouldn't need that many. And now I'm going to use my flat nose pliers to do, let's give that a bend. And then 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 a bend. Well, that's probably the tidiest freaking wire work I've ever done. Look at what measuring and using a ruler does. Wow. Oh my gosh. So this is one of my like calligraphy pencils or pens. It's a soft tip of water-based ink. Hopefully that information gives you what you need. But I bet a Sharpie would have been just fine. And it seems to have rubbed off perfectly just onto my fingers, which is great because I didn't want to leave any marks. But now I'm going to take this and I'm going to press against a ring mandrel just on that very first notch. And what I'm doing here is I'm making a little bit of a patterned wire. And if it's blurry or out of frame, we will be putting together a full-length tutorial that will be available for free. And if y'all do enjoy our free tutorials and would like to support the creation of more of them, we do have our Happy Crafter Club where you can join for as little as $1.99 a month on our YouTube channel, or you can join over on Kick, where we get a much larger amount of the proceeds. Or if you'd like to get kits, you can find our website and just order the kits at backearthcreations.com. Saki Girl says, summer for sure here. We are in a heat wave. Today 98, then in the hundreds for the next 3 days. Come on, fall, right? A 14-day stretch of over 100. Oof. But sitting here in the air conditioning knitting a Halloween blanket, says Saki Girl. Well, that's the way to do it. Now you could, if you wanted, you could go through and hammer this. Michelle says, just heard thunder. Ooh. Denise says, I just went backward in time on my TV. Oh no. Oh, Tawny says, I'm sitting here watching the live stream and making bracelets for Thursday. Oh, good luck to you, Tawny. That's so exciting what vending is, I think. Okay, so that was 15 millimeters. And it looks like I'm gonna need more, which that's okay. So we're just gonna mark out a few more little segments. Now, tidy wire wrapping does not come naturally to me, not in the slightest. So hopefully what I'm learning here will be helpful to y'all. But wherever it is that I did my mark, I like to come a consistent distance right off the edge of it with my pliers. And then I like to bend in just the exact same way every time. So I'm lining the edge of the metal of my jaws up with the very edge of the line that was created by our pen or a marker. And then I'm just trying to do the same bend on the same point of my thumb with the same kind of pressure. And that is helping me tremendously to get consistent results. Okay, so now we're going to take that ring mandrel again. And I'm going to line this up on the way, on the way. And just applying pressure with my thumbnails into those bends to give us that consistent little curve. Reach out my hand, oh my Savior, oh my tell you to run. Ah, well, hey, Leaf. We're doing pretty good. How are you today? Tim says, thanks, Vaughn. I'm doing good. Summer is slow here in Miami. Too hot for work or events, so staying inside in air conditioning, building up the jewelry inventory. Yep. There's the winter lull after Christmas, and there's the summer lull once it hits triple digits. Hashtag crafter life. Ooh, Tawny says, Vaughn, you just gave me an idea for a cloud and raindrops pendant. Oh, just with a piece of wire and a mandrel. Well, that's the way to do it. Joette says, 97 in Idaho. Next week we'll have 103 to 106 all week. This is when I hope the weatherman is wrong. Yeah, for sure. So again, just burnishing off, rubbing off with my fingers any marker. And this gives us plenty of wire to work with. So now I'm going to drink some water. Y'all talking about this heat making me... Congratulations, Leaf. That's awesome. Hey, Blue Bear. How's it going? Okay. So now we have these two shorter pieces that are about 6 inches. And I'm going to pull off just a full 5 feet, a full arm span of our 26 gauge wire. Because the biggest thing is I need to make sure that like this isn't using more wire than what the kit includes. But prototyping, it is what it is. So with this one, we're going to have Wawa Blake, Esoterica. Let's see. So on the back, I was just going to have the ends kind of like end. I should probably put more thought into that. Ooh, Weduza asks, how long are you going tonight, Vaughn? Probably just till 7. I kind of hurt my hand yesterday, and I have like boo-boos in my wrist, so I don't want to push it. But oh gosh, that's only 30 more minutes. But yeah, so oops. And then I'll need to do the voiceover for tomorrow's tutorial. Ah, welcome to the Happy Crafter Club, Jenny. Thank you so much for your support. One of us. One of us. Oh, that's really cool, Leaf, that your favorite store is carrying your stuff. Okay, so I'm going to come in here and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we're going to give it the squishy smush. And then I'm going to come in here and let's snip it. Normally I would have just like brought that in, but did you death grip the pliers again? I did. And then I continued to death grip it for like, it was in yesterday's live stream. We wove an entire scale top in like 3.5 hours with like no actual breaks. So, owie. Mary says, I'm heading to a 3-day show this weekend and it looks like 90-ish with rain. I hope it's worth. I usually never do outdoor shows in July or August. Yeah, it's some folks really love to go out into the heat and it's like right on. Right on. Kat says, figured I'd watched the rerun. Gotcha. So then there's going to go 1, 2 around these 2 wires. And then I'm going to come down here just to here. This should be plenty good. And I'm going to join, there's 1 and 2 wires, like 2 around all 3. And now I'm going to get that wire in between there and I'm going to go 1 and then I'm going to go 2. So I do not want to be making my wraps too tight because I want to be able to fit this wire back in between here. So sometimes I got to get in there and go like smoosh just to open them up a little. And then we can take our pliers and kind of smushy squish. There we go. So there's 1, 2, let's see how many this takes. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Ooh, Silver says, have you tried elastic wrist splints? That's what I do. I do have a brace that I wear to bed, but I don't like wearing them during the streams. Kit says, taking a break on my dragon bag, one side left to do, and then I install the hardware and eyes. Oh, Kit, that's so exciting. Esoterica says, I wonder how strange I look when I do my stretch breaks, like a sumo wrestler, probably. Those are good stretches, though. Those sumo squats and things like that. The elastic wrist splints really help my arthritis and carpal tunnel. I have to keep that in mind. A lot of why I don't wear them while crafting is so that I don't overcraft and end up hurting my hands. So I don't know if there's too much logic in that. But so I do feel like I did that very tight. And so now it is a little like splayed out weird. But that's okay. This is the back after all. And it is the prototype. Oh, I completely lost count though. So let's see. There's 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay. 20. And then there's 21. Ah, level 10. Michelle, you're a winner, chicken dinner. This is yours now. You're level 10. You get it exactly as it is, though. I'm not doing anything else to it. Congratulations. Right on, Silver. Oh, 20. Thank you, Bodega. So there's 21, there's 22, there's 23, there's 24, and there's 25. We're going to have to figure out if we're going to give something to the next person who hits level 10. Like we'll get this stuff figured out as we go, y'all. So was that 25? Sure. So then we're going to go 1, and I'm going to try to keep the spacing on this. You know, this is what I'm going to use this bit of coiling that we had done previously. I'm going to go ahead and snip off that end. Oh, well, you make my day every time you show up, Michelle. So thank you. Like, it means so much to me that all of y'all show up. whether you lurk or whether you hang out or whatever it is, just that you're being here. I appreciate you guys. I need to figure out how to do like a lurker of the week or something. So, hey Donna, how's it going? Lita says, I'm hoping the rain holds out for next weekend. Raining every afternoon here in Florida. I think I'm ready for the market. Ooh. Oh, the levels are over on Kick. The more a person chats, it like, I don't know, something, it keeps track of it, I guess. Randy set it up for me. So yeah, I'm using this little bit of coil as like a spacer to make sure I'm not cinching too tight, and just to keep those wires spaced. So there's around those two. Now I'm going to slide it off so it's out of the way. First one says I should be level 100. We'll do excited mark level. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, Donna says watching magic come out of your hands. Ugh, I'm going to keep it coming. Oh, wait, what number was that? I think that's 12. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. And then we're going to put our little spacer. Oh, and you can do excited mark or exclamation point points. And I think that counts. That's how we'd figure out who our top lurker is. So if any of our lurkers want to like out themselves, you can do exclamation point points. And I think that's just for sitting around watching, I think. I'm just here to watch, do wire watching. Oh, that's a lot of points. Right on, Tani. Y'all have a good supper. We'll see you later. So there's 2 around 2, and then I'm going to go 1 and 2 around both, and then 1. Everybody's seeing how much points they have. Silver says we have monsoon rains almost every evening with lightning and thunder. Oh my goodness. I hope that's a good thing. Like, to me, that sounds awesome, but I would love to get some rain. Like, my whole garden just looks thirsty. Okay. So there's 2 around each again. It's not quite as tightly spaced as I would. I don't know, we'll figure it out. So there's 1. Oh no, really? Well, I think that's how it works. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Oh, better stop at 25. And then we're going to put on our slide on our little spacer. There we go. And then we're going to go 1 and 2. And now we're going to bring our curve down, and we're going to go 1 and 2. Because I don't think there would have been a way, y'all, for me to get these points consistent like this. Well, there you are at level 4, First Man. It's a see, I stink. No, I can't smell you. We must all be ghosts. It says you have 0 viewers. Well, it's not about those vanity metrics anyways, I suppose. Then there's 1 and 2 around just the 2. And guess what? We're going to do the same thing. over and over again. Vaughn, I'm over here listening to Vaughn count as I'm working on a blanket. You're not counting stitches, are you, Saki girl? 1. I'll count in my head. 5, 6, 7, 15. Sorry, I can't count in my head. Uh-oh, I'm tangled. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. Okay. But now I want to see, is this still, yeah, that's still a good length. So I think I'm only going to need to go to like here. So we only have a few more segments left to do for this back side. Okay, and then we're going to take this little bit of spacer. We have to hear Vaughn count in case she forgets. Michelle says we live so close to Mexico. We need to go down and never have been. Ooh. Silver says I love the monsoons in New Mexico. Did you ever come out for Balloon Fiesta? No, we haven't, but we've been out to a convention in Phoenix, Arizona, and I think we drove through New Mexico to get there. I think. I am not the best at geography. And I will be the first to admit that, because I slept in the back most of the way. Slept at the back of a minivan. 2, and then getting these wrapped on. There's 1, 2, and now sliding that off. And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow. First man says, I had someone come to my booth and tell me my art stunk. So I told them to have a nice day in my best serial killer voice. Oh no. Violence always an option. Ah. I don't understand folks sometimes, but it is what it is, isn't it? No, I get nosebleeds whenever I'm in Arizona from the dry air. So it was 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. As much as I complain about it, humidity suits me. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, just 5 more, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. And now we're going to slide on our spacer. Ooh, that's a good, we do it asks, checking in to see if anyone is in the path of Hurricane Beryl. Whew. Oh, Denise says I'm a vendor on the sidewalk in Old Town. Oh, that's cool. Okay, so we're going to go, there's 1 around both. There's 2 around both. Then I'm going to go, there's 1, there's 2. Give it the old squishy smush. There's 1 and there's 2. Just slide that off. Testing it against our segment here. I think this is going to be our last segment, you guys. So I'm actually going to snip it here. Yep, we got to make decisions. I hope that was the right decision. Okay, thanks to Vega is. We need to check on her. Right on. Good luck to everyone. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. How's it going? You coming in here to hang?
Yeah, I realize I don't get a lot of work done when I watch YouTube.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, you've been chugging right along. Oh,
It's
no?
taking me like 4 hours to shoulder, whereas this is past hour.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I got you. Well, what do you think of weaving scale mail so far?
Pretty easy.
Right on. It's fun once you get it down. You can just kind of chug right along. Poor Maddie is rickety wrecked. I don't know how else to put it.
As for every year.
Yeah. Right on. Silver says, okay, this is officially very fun. We'll try to make an effort to come back for the next one. Love watching the work. Right on, Silver. We're always glad to have you. We stream every Friday from like 2 until 5. Sometimes we stay till 6, but I give myself that leeway. And then Saturdays, we uh we stream from, what time is it, 5 till 7. So, and then we still do the new tutorials every Sunday and Tuesday, and the shop update live streams on Monday at noon. So all of this is Central Standard Time. Well, hey Pedro, how's it going? So there's 1, 2, and now we're going to do 10 coils on this wire alone. 2, 3, 4, 5. Bless you. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. There we go. Oof, I'm digging that. All right, so I'm going to snip that off. And we're going to use our bent nose pliers to give it the old squishy smush. When you're doing your designs, do you put the wire turn count on it? Sometimes. Sometimes I just kind of make it up as I'm going. Ooh, Tim says, how is Maddie enjoying her new wheels? That's actually our other niece, Abby. That's our eldest niece who just got her new car. But
they're talking about the chair wheels, and I'm like, yeah, it's pretty nice. Swing myself around the house.
That's awesome.
Now that my legs are basically useless. I'm enjoying my
Yeah,
wheelchair.
Maddie hurt her leg when we were walking back from watching fireworks. So she was like, well, they're pretty nice because she's just been scooching around in her chair all day. But she is our eldest niece. Abby is not insured yet because it's a salvage title, so she needs to do the paperwork to get it transitioned into a rebuilt title. That way, she is insurable beyond just basic liability. So she has not gotten it insured yet, therefore she's not driving it, which I think is wise. Two old ladies on the porch, get off my lawn. Ooh, Lita Lise is working on more keychains. Never too many keychains, right? Well, they don't go bad. Lori says, hey, Lori, would you and Randy ever entertain the idea of having your camp along come to southern Maine? You could have the beautiful woods and the beaches at once. Ooh, that'd be cool. And yes, possibly. A lot of it is just, we just don't know what the future holds. So, but we'll see. We'd like to hit all 50 states. which would be amazing. Right on, Saki girl. I hope you found exactly what you were looking for less than you wanted to pay. Okay, so now to finish this end, I'm just going to do a little loop. And I'm just bringing that around like that. And then I'm going to do that same thing on the other end. Just bringing my pliers as close to the tip of the pliers and as close to the tip of the wires as I can without it sliding off. There's no pressure to do it any sort of way. Now, for legal reasons, we like to camp at either state or national parks, just because that way you never know what's going to happen, and I'd rather it not be in somebody else's backyard. So, all right, so we're going to take this, and I'm very nervous, but we can do it. Okay, so I'm going to snip about a centimeter past where that loop happened. And I'm bringing this loop in just a little. Now coming over onto this end. And now I'm going to come out just a little more on each of these ends. Camp along at Cats. Ooh, and fishing too. Ooh, tempt me further. All right. So I think I might need to do this little number where we bring that around, just because I'm pretty sure that wire is going to get pretty short. And so now we're going to take this. All right, I'm going to start it. Here we go. This will be a good mandrel. I'm curving it this away first. That way I can then push my thumbs in. Yeah, we can do that. So I'm just going to bring this through, and everything's going a little akimbo. Well, hey, Be Nice, how's it going? But yeah, I should have cut that center wire a little longer. That's why this is the prototype. They do, yeah. No, you can use anything as a mandrel, really. Whatever you have on hand, that's what works. And so now I'm just grabbing with my thumbs, and I'm going to kind of do a gentle, gradual bend, hopefully. And then we're going to put it on the table, and I'm going to hit it with some pliers to make it flat. Well, hey, Jennifer, how's it going? Well, thank you, Jean. Hey, Ember. Ember the Eldritch. But yeah, so now that it's kind of gone a little weird, I'm going to make it go a little weirder, but on purpose, kind of tucked behind like that. And I've decided that I do want this turned that away. Turn it down for what? Ooh, or hoop earrings, yeah. So there's always just a little bit of wire that's just buckling on me, and that's okay. But we can take it and be very gradual about this. We could have shaped them all initially, and then we would have missed this opportunity to get kind of funky. So this part is going to be the back section. Oh, that looks sharp. And now the way that we would connect this is we are going to have something very, very similar going on the front, but it's going to be joined into a bail. So instead of cutting our wires off, they're all going to bend upright and be a bail. But whenever we're weaving it on, at this center point, it's going to come like through in between, and it's going to be like sandwiched. And then we're going to have to figure out a way to go like around this as well to get it like nice and incorporated. Yeah, I still have that, Michelle. We cherish it. We don't have a DVD player currently, I don't think. Oh, Silver says, Vaughn, do you wear your prototypes? I do that for advertisement. If I ever left my house, I would. But I've been a bit of a homebody here lately. Uh and I don't know if that's a good thing or not. I kind of need to get out more. If I were to leave my house, I might. I don't know. We'll see. Oh, well, thank you. Be nice. Okay. But yeah, so that's how the front will come around. And then Jean says, is this your normal time? I've been time traveling. This is like our third or fourth weekend streaming in this time slot. And so for the front section, yeah, I'm not going to be able to utilize this because I'm going to need like a long piece because I'm going to show y'all one more time. And then I think we're going to go because my hand hurts. So this is the pattern that the bail is going to be. It's going to be 6 core wires that are coming off of the front. So let's see, can I remove? So here you can kind of see this is going to be stitched in the same manner, but whenever we get to here, it's going to be bent straight up into like right here, attaches to like right here. And then right at this point, we're going to do the fold to bring these ends up and under, possibly, or I may just have them terminate and join on the back because, again, prototype, I just got most of the gist down. So we can make some quick notes here while we're taking a look at this. And oops. Okay, do y'all have any questions that you would like for us to address in the official tutorial for this? Kit says, "Oh, I need one of those pens and pads. What is it? Just a tablet?" Yeah, this is an Apple iPad something. And then the app that I'm using is called Procreate, and it was like $10. Now I am using one of those the most expensive pencil I've ever seen. Um, so but I really love it, and it's what we do all of our different like sketching and everything in. And then it's also, oh, I'm going to show you guys. I have a band idea. Maddie's like, don't show them. But it's these filking kenkus, and it's kenkus are like a bird from like D&D. But like that's Randy as a turtle, and that's me as a chicken playing the guitar, and Randy's playing the washboards on his little turtle tummy, and then that's Maddie as a little adorable. She's just looking at me with disapproval, but she's adorable playing the piano. And then there's like a turnip witch who is gonna be the conductor. But yeah, I just thought that was kind of cool. So this is my tablet. Come on, if anybody stays to watch the end of a 2-hour live stream about wire wrapping,
Okay.
that's fair. And she's like, I'm going to touch you on your face while you're sleeping. Is that not? Oh, is that not the vibe you're putting?
Catch you on your
No,
face.
cut you on your face.
Oh, obviously I'm not going full.
No, nobody picked that. That was just from my own imagination. But yeah, are there any questions that y'all would like us to address into the yeah, right? Fortunately, it uses a type C charger, so it uses like my regular charger. Oh, Jean says I thought Procreate was free. Oh, you can check it. I don't know. I paid $10 for it, but Be Nice says, how's Abby's new car? She has not yet gotten it insured because it's a salvage title, but she is going through the steps to do all the bureaucratic things that need done to, get it retitled and stuff as a rebuild. But it's in the driveway, and that's amazing, and it's paid for in full, so that's amazing too. But Misty says, y'all got me laughing now. Yeah, but thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out with us. If any of y'all are watching this in the future and you do have questions and ideas and stuff, go ahead and leave them in the comments. I'll probably be recording this tutorial tomorrow for it to come out on Tuesday. So that's pretty exciting. So trying to get it like the crunch is on. I'll let her know that you said so. Be nice. Good luck to her. But this is not bad. I really do think with it being curved, like that would have been better for if this were like a regular style of cabochon where it's like curved on the front. Weaving it flat and then bending it would have been just fine. But for the front, I think I'm going to bend all the pieces into shape first and then come through and weave it just to keep it really nice and flat. And we may do a little bit of hammering. I don't know. We'll have to see. But I think that's going to look super cool, you guys. Oh, and Maddie just finished another scale top or shoulder piece. Can I show them? Of course I want. You do such good work.
Well, I get off the YouTube.
Well, that is so nice. And this is just the gold. This is not the brushed gold, which is what I was showing off in yesterday's live stream. She's doing so good, you guys. And these will just be sitting as little shoulder pieces. Boom. You do such good work, Maddie. Chugging right along. All right. We are going to go. We're going to go. We'll see y'all next time. Thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out. And I will see y'all next time. So until then, until tomorrow's tutorial that releases at noon and is a tie-dye tutorial, and y'all should go watch it because it's amazing, probably, hopefully. We'll see you there. Happy crafting, you guys. Mwah. Bye. And then I click this.